We're going full ham on the Chili Bowl entry list today, talking about who's in, who's out, who the favorites are, and more. Let's go. It's Wednesday, December 14th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily. I've been updating you guys kind of here and there on Chili Bowl entries the last few weeks, and today I wanted to dive into the list and see who is there and who isn't. Just last night, the event released the updated list, which currently sits at 333 cars. And for comparison, the 2022 entry list ended at 394 cars. There's obviously still a few weeks left to go, though, and still plenty of time to get in more entries. This is all noteworthy because if you might remember back to the summertime, it came out that Kyle Larson was planning on not attending the event. He's won twice because of the payout. He, and it sounded like several others, were not okay with it paying $10,000 to win. Now, I remember having a conversation with Brad Sweet about it several years ago, and it's finally gotten to a point where drivers are taking a stand. The interesting part, though, was outside of Larson, we didn't know who else would join him in not racing. But now that the entry list continues to be updated, we're starting to get an idea of who probably isn't coming outside of Larson. And we know, obviously, that Young Money is instead racing the Kevin Rumley late model at the Wild West Shootout. So as of last night, here's where we stand. Brian Holbert says 333 entries, 52 feature starters, 62 rookies, and 4 past champions. Those past champions are Sammy Swindell, Damian Gardner, Tim McCready, and Tanner Thorson. And we already knew the Chad Boat lineup, the Matt Wood cars are there, and now as of last night, we have the Keith Kunz entries. The KKM cars are notable here because there had been some talk that maybe that entire team would not show, but they are bringing a sizable contingent that includes Ryan Timms, Tanner Carrick, Dazen Persley, and others. But a Kofoid has been added as well, but he has no car owner or sponsorship info listed at chilibowl.com. Not sure if that's on purpose or maybe a mistake. He's listed in the 71W and not the 67 as he's raced in for several seasons. Timms is actually in the 67 with Mobil 1 as a sponsor. The 71W, though, is the number that Christopher Bell had run with in KKM cars in past seasons, so I am assuming that's a KKM car. But missing from that KKM lineup is Christopher Bell, and a little surprisingly, no Rico Abreu. Rico always campaigned the 97, but Brandon Crouch is listed in that ride. So no Larson for sure, and Bell and Rico absent right now. That would mean that winners of 7 of the last 8 Chili Bowls are not entered. And if you go down the list outside of Tanner Thorson, the last time the Chili Bowl was won by a driver who is currently on the entry list for 2023, it was Sammy Swindell in 2009. Drillers from 2010 through 2021 were won by Kevin Swindell, Brian Clausen, Rico, Bell, and Larson. Wikipedia tweeted out asking specifically about Rico, and just this morning, Rico quote tweeted that with the gif from Wolf of Wall Street saying he's not effing leaving. So maybe Rico is still in play. I'd also previously mentioned Tyler Courtney, and he's not on a list of entrants currently either. He is scheduled to race with Money Motorsport Down Under for several events in December and January, including Western Australia Speed Week at Perth Motorplex, plus the Grand Annual Classic at Premier and several events around it. Doesn't appear as though he has any actual schedule conflicts around the Chili Bowl with that Australian schedule, but I would not assume he's going to come back for Chili Bowl and then return to Australia for the Classic. Some other names that are not entered, and we shouldn't expect them to be, include Brad Sweet, David Gravel, Donnie Schatz, and Casey Kane. I also don't see Anthony Macri, who had run the 2 previous events, or Colby Copeland, who had been in every Chili Bowl since 2015. Remember that Copeland is partners with Larson and Sweet in the operation of the Silver Dollar Speedway out in California. I went through last year's Saturday night main event, and as of this moment, 18 of 24 starters are entered for 2023. And with several of these high-profile guys not attending, I think the competition this year will be absolutely wide open. Because not only do you have these past champions out, but they also account for 23 prelim night wins as well. So we will absolutely see some new prelim night winners, and I think it's more than likely we see a first-time event winner. I think Buddy Kofoid is absolutely an early favorite, maybe the early favorite, especially after the USAC midget season he just had. I'd throw Justin Grant in there also, and then look down the list at names like Shane Golobic, Chris Wyndham, Zeb Wise, Corey Day, and CJ Leary. If we look at KKM specifically, this will be the first Chili Bowl in a really long time that they don't have at least one of those top 3 guys on their roster. That is if Rico ends up not running for them, if he is running. Outside of Kofoid, I like a lot of their drivers. Carrick was a prelim winner a year ago. Persley's a USAC winner. Ryan Timms, obviously a top young open-wheel driver, and I think the future's bright for several of their other names. But those guys aren't Rico or Bell or Larson inside the expo, meaning absolute locks. The 2023 Chili Bowl will not have the larger motorsports appeal with the big names not running, and I would bet a lot of money that the streaming viewership will be down, especially on Chili Bowl Saturday night. But I think for us hardcore dirt racing fans, this might be one of the most compelling Chili Bowls in a long time because of how wide open it'll be. Drop me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the entry list in this Chili Bowl situation. Are these absences going to make you not tune in? Or does it make you more apt to tune in? Maybe you're going to go, not go. Let me know your thoughts on this whole situation. Also, if you're going to participate in some of the pools, the Chili Bowl section at dirttracker.com/analytics will be a great resource for your research. Nearly 100 race nights represented from the Chili Bowl, driver pages for close to 2,000 past entrants. Ton of information for you to look through there. And if you want the extra analysis and tools that I've built, like the driver comparison feature, grab a month of Dirt Tracker Plus for just $4.99. If you're going to drop 40 or 50 bucks on entry fees, invest that extra $4.99 and give yourself the best chance to rise up the rankings. You can cancel that at any time, super easy. You don't need to email me or do anything like that. You just go on your profile page, hit the cancel button, and you're done. To sign up for Dirt Tracker Plus, click the link below in the video description or the plus button in the nav bar over at dirttracker.com. Some driver news from Pennsylvania came out yesterday from Jeremy Elliott. After splitting with driver Chase Dietz toward the end of 2022, car owner John Trone has decided to go with a two-car team for next season. He's pairing both Cameron Smith and Troy Wagaman Jr. for full schedules. They will both be regulars at Williams Grove on Friday nights and mix in trips to Lincoln and Port Royal on Saturdays, plus other events through the season. The two drivers both got late season opportunities with Trone following the split with Dietz, and Trone decided to just go ahead and keep them both. Smith is still super young, only 17, and he just recently moved up from the 358 division. Wagaman had been running his own car and was actually a winner at Lincoln in 2022. With the Trone car settled, I know there's still a few question marks for Central PA for 2023. That includes what will happen with the Hefner car. Darren Pittman ran some races in it towards the end of 2022, including at the National Open, and he also got a win at Sealands Grove. But I would imagine his commitments with Ultra Shield will keep him from running that car on a more regular basis. We'll just have to wait and see what plays out there. Around the other dirt racing podcasts this week, Passing Points has Noah Gass and another Down Under episode. Hoagie's Garage has Matt Jewell and Hunter Schoenberg. And there are new episodes of The Dirt Reporters, The Dirt Nerds, and Dirt Tracks and Rib Racks. To see the full list of podcasts and recent episodes, head over to dirttracker.com/podcasts. And again, for today, just the two usual streaming items on the schedule. Flow Racing 24/7 and Dirt Vision now playing on those different services. To see the full daily streaming schedule with links to watch, visit dirttracker.com/watch tonight. All right, that's it for the show today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back here tomorrow for more Dirt Tracker Daily.